Hi guys, welcome to another episode of The Aspiring Entrepreneur. I'm your host Hamza Chowdhury. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. It is December 6th, Sunday night. Just wanted to give you guys my feedback on Apple stock, follow up from last week. And with the shutdown in California announced today, we have a similar shutdown that we had this past March. Be really interested to kind of see how the markets react. I don't expect that we're going to get that massive sell-off that we saw earlier in the year, but I definitely can see some sort of negative momentum coming to the market. We've made all-time highs in the Dow, and recently it seems like that we're kind of overextended and we're due for a pullback, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about with the Apple stock. If you look here from the past few trading sessions, we just have been on a massive streak since the 24th of November, where we hit our 112.60 support line again. And we've essentially jumped about a little over about 10%, in the last few trading sessions. And the stock needed to take a breather. You can see there's about 6 or so green candles, and then we've had sort of a minor pullback. But you can look at these candles. When the candles looks more or less like a cross, it's referred to as a doji. It tells you that the buyers are pushing the stock up, the sellers are selling it down. So there's this sort of market indecisiveness. And Apple, knowing the way it trades, it making a 10% move. We talked about in the last video how we were really just trading sideways for about 5 or 6 trading sessions, and finally we had this massive flush, which is not a bad thing. It does basically get a lot of people out of the stock, and it brings in fresh money, people buying it back up, which is great. And just this sort of sideways action in the last few sessions, what I've been waiting for is actually a sort of a sell-off back to sort of retest some of our key supports around the 118 to 120 range. And we did get that earlier in the week. You can see here on the 2nd of December, we had a low here of 120.89 cents. I was expecting a little more of a sell-off, but you can see here that we've been really just sort of sideways the last few days. So again, Apple's kind of become that boring stock that we've always talked about. One thing I do want to encourage you guys to do, if you are using the TradingView platform that I'm sharing with you today, is that the TradingView platform is absolutely free. You can join by the link below. And if you do so, one of the technical indicators I encourage you to use, and you could probably see I've added it once again on my charting, is the volume profile. And the volume profile basically lets you know what price, how much volume traded at which price. And this red line that you can see here, this is my 15-minute chart, is where most of the volume traded. So for example, when you see, let's just take, for example, Friday's price action, where you see this red line. When you see this, most of the volume traded here, and you can see that most of the people here, right, are essentially holding on to the stock, and then of course it's selling back off. And one of the things that you can do with this is to know where are people stuck. If most people have traded volume, let's say they're going long here, how many people are in the positive or negative for that trading session, right? So if the stock, for example, is selling off down here, a lot of people are they're bag holding, or they're potentially selling, knowing that, hey, we're below what we call the POC, the point of control. So the highest volume that's traded is shown in this, and it's called the volume HD. It's sort of a new indicator that was just put onto the TradingView platform. And so I did want to encourage you guys to get it, because what's really fascinating about this too is, let's say, for example, this is my 1-minute chart and I zoom in, you may notice that this sort of red line at a point of control is actually changing. And the reason why it's changing is because it's depending on the time frame of my view. So for example, if I'm looking at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. On Friday, you can see that the point of control is 122.19. However, if I look at the entire session, you can see it moves back down to 122. Which is what it was down here, because we're looking at the entire session plus some pre-market. So it's a really cool indicator. I like it, but I definitely encourage you guys to use it. And like I said, anytime you are trading above it, the longs are in control. If you're trading below it, usually the shorts are in control. It just gives you an idea of to know where are people and where are they buying and where are they selling. Okay. So with that said, guys, again, I expect some sideways action for Apple. You can see that the upper band of the Bollinger Band, we were trading there. It's still relatively flat. It's definitely not something that it's starting to point upward. But what I'd really like to see is a 118 to 120 flush, either Monday or Tuesday. And once we get that, ultimately the 118 would be the best case. But if we get a 118 to 120 flush, I could definitely see Apple continuing back to what we talked about, similar to Tesla, right, where it was up on this upper band pre-split, very bullish, and then it just went sideways until we really got some news catalyst. Okay, so with that said, guys, I wish you the best of luck. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. We are a 100% free content channel, and so we depend on your support to grow the channel. All right, guys, have a good week and take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.